Wendy Mott Toby. I'm a Gangulu Iman woman, which is situated up in central Queensland. Now my illness started with gestational diabetes, and I was only 16 when I had my first child, and then I proceeded to have 3 more children. I do raise my grandchildren because sadly I lost my daughter to suicide when her children were only babies. And this, I have found, looking back, actually brought on my diabetes even worse because of all the stress, depression, and all those sort of things that went hand in hand with grief. It took me a long time to grieve. My diabetes kicked in really severely then, and so I went from having normal diabetes where we were just on tablets, and then over the preceding years it just got worse till I ended up having to go on the needles. But through all that time, with all my forgetfulness, because I would forget to take my tablets, I would forget to look after myself, and I would forget to do the essential stuff to heal myself personally. It took a long time to get back to this point in my life where I feel I've got a good handle on things. My life's journey will be an eye-opening for other families that are going through those grief stages after suicide. I was continually in and out of hospital. In the end, it affected me so much that I ended up with the loss of sight. So I have peripheral retinopathy, and so I have no outer vision. But I lost my license, I couldn't drive, I lost my independence. I was back to being a small child myself, where I had to depend on everyone else to do things for me. I went on new medication at the end of last year, and it was called Ozempic, and it helped me lose heaps of weight. So I went from 84 kilos down to 60 kilos, and I'm feeling a lot better. I only have that needle once a week. I don't have to worry about pin pricking my fingers for my sugars, because usually I just do that randomly now, every now and again, to make sure that my sugar levels are good. And I usually sit between the high 5s to the 8s now, and usually my average would be about a 7. So even my sugar levels have dropped from, they were sitting in the high 11s, and that was last year. The year before that, or the previous years, I was like up to the 20s because I had bad diabetes control. But now that I've on this new needle, my diabetes is quite perfect. I'm quite happy about it. So as an Indigenous person, I find that white people can be frustrating when you want to communicate what you need, because they have certain set practices that they need to follow, and therefore it becomes very frustrating. We need to educate the wider community within the hospital system so that they're aware of our needs and what is needed to make our stay in hospital better, and to make sure that our follow-up care is really seen to.